The most elite group of weightlifters, Pyrros, Dimas, Naim Suleymanoglu, Kakhi Kakhiashvili and Halil Mutlu, have a new member, and his name is Lu Xiaojun. Now, what do all of these people have in common? They are the only weightlifters ever to have 3 Olympic gold medals. Now, whilst that doesn't necessarily characterize them as the greatest ever, although several of those weightlifters certainly are potentially in the running for number 1, Naim obviously being one of them, it certainly does put them in a very unique category of their own. So Lu Xiaojun has emerged, I would say, as the second most dominant male weightlifter of the 21st century. And I'm putting him behind Lasha because Lasha has a case for being the greatest weightlifter ever, whereas I don't believe that Lu does. Throughout the 21st century, Lu was in a battle as the best with guys like Ilya until Ilya's downfall. And even several of his teammates, Lao Hui, Shi Ziyong, have won 3 world championships, whereas Lu has won 5. And now he joins Pyrros, Naim, Kakhi, Mutlu with a 3rd Olympic gold medal, having won the 2012 Olympics at 77 with a 175 snatch, a 204 clean and jerk, that's a 379 total. Then 9 years later, he won the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo in 2021 with 170 snatch, 204, 374 total. So where did the 3rd medal come from? Well, in 2016, as many of you OGs out there will remember, Kazakhstan Nijat Rahimov shocked the world with a 4-kilo world record clean and jerk at 214 kilos. Now that was a weight that had been, well, it hadn't even been attempted. Oleg Perepechenov set the world record at 210 back in, I want to say, either 2001 or 2002. We saw multiple attempts at 211 kilos, including one from Lu Xiaojun at the 2011 World Championships in Paris, along with 2 other lifters. Sergei Hook was one of them, blanking the other. And that 214 kilo world record, that 4-kilo world record, a 12-kilo second attempt jump to equal Lu's 379 kilo total, allowed Nijat Rahimov to win on bodyweight and defeat Lu Xiaojun. Now that lift of 214 was already contentious given the down signal issues. A lot of people thought that he didn't put his feet together or he hadn't stopped wobbling, and to be honest, I've seen competitions where that would certainly be given a no lift, but he got the lift nonetheless. But it's also contentious because Nijat Rahimov was banned in 2013, and then he returned in 2015 with even freakier numbers than the ones with which he had been banned. And no, of course, this isn't abnormal in weightlifting, but it would be remiss of me if I didn't mention that previous pop from Rahimov. And so anyway, 6 years after that contentious win, and Nijat Rahimov has been ruled as, according to Brian Oliver from Inside the Games, having swapped urine samples with 3 clean athletes in the build-up to Rio. Which, to be fair, is a pretty egregious way of getting popped or trying to pass a drugs test. These 3 occurrences happened on March the 15th, June 10th and July 15th of 2016. That final one, that July 15th, was just 25 days prior to competing. And I think a lot of people often talk about athletes being on drugs as all being the same. One of the things that is worth mentioning is obviously your ability to take drugs in higher doses, your ability to pass a certain number of tests, and your ability to take drugs closer and closer to the point of competing makes a huge difference. And so it's not one of those all drug cheaters are created equal type things. It's all drug cheaters are cheating, but some are just getting away with it or getting a greater advantage over the rest. And I think Nijat Rahimov was in that situation here. And so with Nijat Rahimov now banned, the gold goes to Lu for his 177 kilo snatch, his 202 kilo clean and jerk, 379 kilo total, equaling the same 379 from his first Olympic Games. He's now a 3-time Olympic champion. Something else that's just truly amazing is the fact that Lu Xiaojun won his first Olympic Games in 2012 at the age of 28. Now that is 2 years older than the average age of a medalist in weightlifting at the Olympics, according to the recent study that came out from Oleshko, Turokty, Putsov and Yang. And so to then go on having won that 2 years after the average and win 2 more is just simply unbelievable. It's staggering, especially at the age of 37 for his most recent one. He is the oldest weightlifting Olympic champion ever. Now, those of you who are the real Lu Xiaojun stans out there will remember an OG video of him wearing the "Making This Shit Look Easy" t-shirt. And now with his 3rd Olympic gold medal, his 5 world gold medals, and rumours of his upcoming retirement, Lu really has made this shit look easy. And so I think it's probably time that we brought that t-shirt back out of retirement, but with a little bit of a squat jerk twist. So if you want to grab a "Making This Shit Look Easy" t-shirt and kind of commemorate what was such an incredible career, then I'll put a link to that down below. And while that is basically the news part of this whole thing, I do want to just talk very briefly about Lu Xiaojun's career and my sort of interaction with it. Because I remember the first World Championships that I really watched, like really truly watched, was 2013, and I'd just started weightlifting. And I remember him snatching 176 kilos for the world record. I was in the gym at the time. I remember watching that on the screen. And then he very quickly became one of my favorite weightlifters because he became one of everybody's favorite weightlifters. Training footage of him was very rare. There was basically just a few, phone videos from training halls from around the world. And then, of course, 2015, I was heartbroken when he snatched the 175, missed the 77, and then he bombed out in the clean and jerk. 2016, gutted again to see him go to the Olympics and get beaten. I guess it's been revoked now, but by Nijat Rahimov. And he was just always one of my, probably at any given moment, top 3 weightlifters. And then I saw him for the first time in real life in 2019 at the World Championships. And seeing someone like him up close is actually, it's a really incredible moment. Like, it really is, seeing these top weightlifters, right there, lifting these heavy weights. I remember the first lift I ever filmed of him. He was clean and jerking 200 kilos in the training hall. This is 2019. And he cleaned it and he missed the jerk. And I just had this sense of like, oh my God, I hope it wasn't my presence that did that. And of course it wasn't. He's so used to filming. But that was crazy. And then I became sort of somewhat close with the Lu Xiaojun barbell people. And some of you would have heard this before. I mean, the interview that I got with Lu Xiaojun has now got well over 100,000 views. So a lot of you will have heard this story from that. But I was approached by them to kind of do his first interview with Western media. And I remember being in Switzerland and being essentially smuggled into the, through the back alley of this hotel where Team China was staying, went up through the staircase around the back where you weren't really supposed to go. They sort of rushed me into a bedroom in the hotel that was empty, closed the door, locked it, and I just sat there, in silence, waiting for a long time, not really sure what to do, just looking at my notes of questions that I wanted to ask him. And then suddenly the door opens, Lu walks in, sits down, and they just say, go. And I switch the camera on, asking the questions in English. He's replying in Mandarin. I have no idea what he's saying. We've got a translator helping us out. And that moment was so surreal to then just be driving back from this Swiss hotel to my hotel, my Airbnb, where I was actually staying at about 1 a.m., having just done the biggest interview of my career with the biggest weightlifter in the world, probably the most popular weightlifter of all time, to be quite frank, was crazy. Lu's had an incredible career. I am genuinely thrilled for him to get that 3rd gold medal. It never sat quite right that he was a 2-time Olympic champion. And there was a moment where he might not have even been, with how the last Olympic Games was shaping up and whether it was even going to go ahead or not. So for him to now be in the ranks of Naim, Kakhi, Dimas and Mutlu is amazing. And to be honest, for me, he certainly outranks at least 2 of those lifters. And in that group of now 5, he either sits at 2 or 3 behind Naim. I'm not sure what your guys' order would be, but let me know down below if you want to pick up and wear a "Making This Shit Look Easy" t-shirt where we've got the squat jerk himself as the I, basically, in the expletive within that phrase. Then head to the link down below and pick up one of those.